I do not own Biker Mice from Mars, Initial D, or any of its characters. No money was made from this production. Biker Mice from Mars belongs to Rick Unger, and Initial D belongs to Suichi Shigeno. Biker Mice from Mars, Mountain Drift. Chapter 11. Bogus Basin Toge. A couple minutes had passed since their arrival at the top of Bogus Basin. Manuel was concerned for Throttle. He wanted to find a way to cheer him up, to see if there was a way to get his mind off of whatever was troubling him. There's got to be something I can do to raise his spirits, he thought. At that moment, the Takahashi brothers arrived, causing more of a fan movement with the audience and the local drifters.
Wow! I didn't think we were this popular over here,
Keisuke said.
The internet can do great things for one's reputation.
Ryosuke responded.
Just don't let it go to your head. Hey, Manuel! You're the best racer in this area!
Bob shouted, getting both his and Throttle's attention.
We've got an idea! Why don't you run against Takumi? It'll be east versus west.
Manuel laughed in response. Oh, I'd rather save myself the public humiliation. That caused Throttle to chuckle.
What's the matter? Afraid of a little competition?
He said. No, Manuel said, annoyed.
Don't worry, everyone has fear.
Throttle said in a taunting way. I didn't say I was afraid. Manuel is now becoming very annoyed.
Sure, whatever. Chicken.
Throttle laughed. Oh, har, that's it, man, Manuel said. Get in the car. Takumi, choose a passenger for the run. Takumi looked surprised as Throttle got in the CR-X.
A passenger?
Is there an echo up here? Manuel asked. The crowd started to mutter in anticipation. They knew Manuel was serious. Ikutani and Itsuki started to inch away from Takumi. They knew all too well how he drove.
Itsuki, care to be my passenger?
Takumi asked.
Oh, hell no!
Itsuki shrieked, ducking behind Ikutani.
Ikutani, you do it!
What? Why me?
Ikutani snapped.
He asked you first!
I went last time!
There was no last time!
The crowd chuckled at the argument as Manuel stepped in the CR-X. He then turned to Throttle as they fastened their seatbelts. And you said I was chicken, Manuel laughed. Oh well, there's a 90% chance I'm going to get my butt whipped tonight, but I guess I'll have to take it in stride. With that, he started the engine and rolled down the window as Bob walked up, handing him a clip-on radio with an earpiece.
This is for the traffic reports,
Bob said.
I'm giving one to Takumi as well. We'll let you know if any cars are coming up the hill. You can also use it to communicate with each other if you want to.
Got it, Manuel said, putting the earpiece on. He looked in his rear view as a reluctant Ikutani got into the passenger side of Takumi's Trueno 86. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. You read me, Takumi? Manuel asked as he pulled up to the starting line.
Loud and clear.
Takumi said, pulling up alongside. Just remember to be careful around those curves, Manuel cautioned. Not all of them have guardrails.
Got it.
Takumi said. They revved their engines as Bob walked up to count down to the start.
Alright, here we go! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Bob swung his hand down at the pavement and they were off. Both cars peeled off the starting line and started their rocket-like pace down the mountain. Manuel took the lead early. He wasn't feeling overly confident about winning, but he wasn't about to give Takumi an easy victory as they left the side road to the Bogus Ski Resort. Throttle was gripping his seat. He had a feeling this wasn't going to be like their earlier run up the hill. He was sure Manuel meant business this time. They approached the first curve. a wide curve with a cement barrier on one side. Manuel went in, going for the inside, putting the car into a braking drift. You could see Takami's lights in his mirror, matching him move for move. He was living up to his reputation, so far. Manuel was impressed, but he didn't let Takami's techniques distract him. They got onto a high-speed section of the downhill, light curves varying in places, quickly approaching the second and third corners as they passed a radio man reporting their progress. They combined into an S-curve. No guardrail at the beginning of the corner, which was marked with a flare. Time to see if Takami really was up to his potential. Manuel put the car into another tight drift, passing through the turns in an inertia drift without touching the curb or the barrier. Takami followed him move for move. "Not bad, Takami," Manuel said over the radio. "Getting the hang of no guardrails?"
It's a little scary, but I've got it. Ikitani, not so much.
Takami replied, Ikitani screaming in the background. They went through another high-speed section of light curves. Manuel decided to take it easy on the drifting, trying to save valuable grip for the road ahead. He didn't know what Akina was like, but Bogus he knew well enough. The high-speed sections were misleading at points, and the trees and bushes made it difficult to sight oncoming cars. They passed a roaring crowd with a radio man. He was reporting their driving to the top of the mountain where Bob was, while also watching out for oncoming cars. The third corner they went through with no problems. Then it was back to speed. Manuel checked his rear view again as they passed another cheering crowd. Takami was still on his bumper. Damn! Manuel floored the pedal as they went through another S-curve. This is going to be close. They continued to go through the high-speed section, passing another radio man. Manuel started to pull away from Takami, but he caught up at the next corner. Manuel knew both cars were built to be light and zippy. The only question was, who was the better driver? They drifted through the fourth corner and Takami passed Manuel by cutting into the inside as their lines overlapped. Whoa! Manuel exclaimed. That was a nice move, Takami.
You're not doing that bad yourself,
Takami complimented.
It's good to see some good sportsmanship for a change.
Hey, just because I'm being a good sport doesn't mean I'll make it any less easy on you, Manuel warned, sticking to Takami's bumper through a series of S-turns. They got into another high-speed section, as both cars put the pedal to the floor as the CR-X pedaled up along the 8.6. They passed the Schaefer Butte turnoff, another crowd on the edges of the corner, staying on Bogus Basin Road. A hard left bank turn was coming up. Manuel put the car into another drift, taking the corner with skill. Takami mirrored his movements, but Manuel had to slow down more since his car was on the inside of the curve. They stayed side by side through the corner. They went through another series of S-curves that looked solemn. So far, the racers were evenly matched. They went into another wide turn, taking it with ease. Another slalom was ahead. Manuel increased the pressure on the gas pedal, taking the lead once more. Both cars went into a drift at the next corner. They went through another series of S-curves until they reached a small hairpin. Takami took the lead again, going through the hairpin in a kamikaze drift. How do you keep doing that? Manuel exclaimed. They went through another series of tight corners. Manuel knew he needed to keep his cool. Other drivers who had challenged Takami in the past had lost that cool way too early in the race, and that mistake had cost them every time. I just have to keep up until the high-speed section, Manuel said. Then I can pass him. They were coming up onto the high-speed section. Just a few more light curves, and Manuel could go in pedal to the floor, so to speak. They cleared the last few corners before going on to the high-speed section. Manuel then put the car into third gear, then fourth, and floored it, taking the lead. The CR-X went down the road at over 100 miles an hour. They went through another series of S-curves, which Manuel took with great precision. Takami was no slouch either, and pulled up beside him again. They were back onto the high-speed section and were still side by side. Manuel was having quite the rush. Nobody had been able to keep up with him this far down. He now clearly understood why Bunta had installed that Group A engine in the Trueno 86. They drifted through a left-hand turn, Takami gaining the edge once again. They sped through the last curves to the bottom half of the mountain, but it was too late. Takami had crossed the finish line. Manuel was amazed as they both stepped out of their cars. This race was unlike anything he had experienced before.